going to talk about some feelings. So, top 5 things I stopped giving a fuck about. Number 1, little shit. Like the little shit. My husband and I have been married over 15 years. But I understand how like little shit, like little habits he had, and his breathing or snoring when we first got like together, like all this stuff used to really bother me. And I wouldn't say anything, and then if I did say something, I always felt like such a bitch. And but it's like a trap. Like if you let that build up, you get trapped and it becomes heavy and it becomes a lot of weight. And so it's like I had to one day I looked down, my dog was chewing on her paw. This is my big dog Jiva. She was a 90-pound lab chow mix. And she was like, she had all this fur. And so anyway, she was chewing away. And I was like, Jiva. And I realized, like, I kind of roll with her habits that annoy me, the little shit. My dog and I would have disagreements about a lot of different things. But I loved her. And I didn't take it personal that she didn't change them. And so I realized a lot of things that was going on with my husband. I had to look at my part in it and why I was taking it so personal, or why I didn't feel comfortable talking about it, or can it be fixed, or is it worth being fixed? I mean, like, you know, is this a deal breaker? And so little shit, it's like I always ask myself, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, is it a parking ticket? Is it murder? Is it a deal breaker? Or is it, you know, an adjustment? The second thing I stopped giving a fuck about is being butthurt. So little shit and butthurt definitely lined up. And being butthurt, it's like when something happens and you hold it in and you don't want to say anything because you don't want to be a bitch. Or you feel that you've said it so many times you feel unheard, or whatever that is for you that comes up in the moment. And being in close quarters with people will rattle your cage. And so in terms of butthurt, like speaking your truth, it's like, just get it out, you know, and just be as completely honest and responsible for what's going on with you as you possibly can be. I look at my husband and I'm like, you know, or like my husband wouldn't talk about stuff. He doesn't like talking about his feelings. You know, so we've worked on like staying away from therapist language. It tends to like hang us up and push too many buttons, and just started speaking straight to each other, trying to make each other laugh. I learned this from a friend of mine. Like if I would get in a mood, they'd be like, hey killer, what's going on? So, you know, as you approach someone with butthurt, humor helps. And with myself, I've learned with humor just to like straight out say like, I'm butthurt because, and I can't think of something right now off the top of my head as an example, but this woman said like she felt like her partner was chewing, like was purposely chewing too loud. She was butthurt because she felt that her partner was being obnoxious on purpose. And, you know, as she called it, she was getting chippy. Like, you know, it's like when tension builds up and you've spent too much time together and you get restless, or like those last 5 minutes in class before the bell would ring. But this is what I want to share with you. Now, this has to do with number 2, butthurt. And this is the book I've been working with, the chakras book that I've been sharing with you. But she says, even though the self will use anybody and anything to keep the process of wholeness moving along, sometimes our defenses are working so well that we may stay in the false despite the call of true self. And that to me is butthurt. Like, we refuse to acknowledge or talk about what it is that's bothering us because we have this self, this idealized version of what as a woman we should be, and how we should take care of our family and our tribe, and how nurturing we should be, or how up on our shit we should be. Like, just real quick, dishes in the sink. I don't know if they're gonna get done today. I really don't. It doesn't feel like a dish day. I'm lucky the bed got made. Quarantine, right? It's the Rona. Roll with the punches. Sorry about that. Okay, number 3. Being fuckable. Yep, I'm in a ponytail. I'm in pajamas. Yes, I've been married for a long time. Do I love to still put on some lipstick for my husband every once in a while? Yes, of course. But having a traumatic brain injury, one of the things I had to really let go of was this hypervigilance about my appearance. And I was brought up as a woman to be hypervigilant about my appearance and to always be fuckable and on, and the gray hair dyed and the makeup on and the nails done and everything matching and everything shoved in and sucked in, and fuck that. Just fuck that. It was like it was drilled in my head that beauty is pain, that I had to endure pain and discomfort to be attractive to others. So like wherever you find that, fucking with your head, and I realize the camera's over here now. I'm looking the other way. Whatever. Who cares? Let go of being fuckable. Like fuck that. My fourth one is being right. And the word that came to mind is stuck. Like when you get stuck, that, especially in relationships, when you have a disagreement with someone, how important is it for you to be right in this situation? And the gauge really is, Darla, is your value system. If you know what your top 5 values are, and you prioritize your time and energy in alignment with your values, then you stop getting stuck about what the need to win and be right. Because if you're out of alignment with your values, then it's like a signal, and it's like you feel emotionally out of alignment. You look like that picture. And so to be congruent, to be in alignment with our environment and with ourself and with our stuff, you know, the storyteller, the feeler, the person, you know, this is where it really comes down to it, right? Our life. How do we feel being us? How do we feel in this life? And being right, is it something that can be let go? Or is it really rub up against your value system? Now, I have let go of friendships and relationships because there was such a huge huge gulf between values over what I felt were very important things to me. And so there was a loss of connection. So this might come up too in your living situation, especially if you're in a living situation that you've been on the fence about. My husband and I, like when we have to do adult stuff, we say, you know, I got to do some grown-up shit. I got to do some adult stuff. And so it's like we kind of tune in and we know, okay, this is time to listen. If I am feeling like, if I'm having like a sudden swift change in my chemistry, my inner environment, a sudden surge of pain or dizziness or not feeling well, what I've learned, instead of trying to describe it to my husband, I just say I'm grinding the gears. And he immediately knows that I need to stop, that we need to get me somewhere where I can decompress, that my brain has taken in way too much information and that my nervous system is shutting down. Other people's shit. All right, so when we get caught up on other people's shit, it makes us lose focus. It makes us lose focus on whatever creative endeavor journey we're on, what we're doing, our healing journey, our connection, our relationship with others. And what I'm talking about is like when we get caught up in our stories about why people do this or why are people doing that. And one time I had this neighbor who took a sudden dislike to me, and she was very vocal about it. She was like, you know, this is when my husband and I lived in Petaluma, and we had this little cottage, and they're in the front cottage, and she said, "You remind me of my stepmom." I said, "Oh," and she's like, "I don't like her," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so I continue to, you know, be the good yogi girl and be really nice and be kind and be patient and don't let my ego get in the way and all of those things. And I have moved away from that whole like duality within like my ego's bad and my soul's good or crap like that. The ego is necessary. It's your consciousness. It's feeding back information to you. It's your Goldilocks switch, your GPS. What you do with that information, it just takes a little thought. Anyway, once again, she was rude to me, and I said to my husband, I was like, wow, why is she being so rude to me? And my husband goes, why do you give a fuck? And I really thought about it, and I was like, who is this person in my life? So what? She lives in the front. That's it. There's no other connection. There was no other. So I was like, why do I give a fuck? Why am I going out of my way to be concerned about this person's comfort at the cost of my own? Why am I letting that weigh me down? And lose focus. Spend time thinking about how to fix that problem when that problem is not going to take me further as an artist. That problem's not going to take me further as a wife. That problem's not going to take me further as a spiritual seeker. So it was like, okay, fuck that problem. So those are my top 5 fucks. I see the time. I know I've gone over. So much for shorter videos. Top 5 fucks, once again. I stopped giving a fuck about little shit because it made me feel trapped. I stopped giving a fuck about being butthurt and holding in my feelings. I realized I had to speak my truth. And one of the ways I got comfortable doing that was speaking my truth alone, walking around in my space, speaking it out loud, and then getting those words and the feelings and sorting things out. It became easier to then address it with other people. Something that would really rattle me from shit of the past. Number 3, stop giving a fuck about being fuckable. Like, it is not worth it to feel uncomfortable being ourselves. It's not worth it to feel uncomfortable in clothing. It's not worth it to feel uncomfortable judging ourselves that we're not enough or too much. Number 4, fuck being right. Like, what the fuck, you know? Give a fuck about your values. Give a fuck about staying in line with your values. But stop giving a fuck about arguing with people so that you have the last word, so that you win, that you're right. It just keeps you stuck. Which leads to number 5, stop giving a fuck about other people's shit. Other people are going to have shit. They're going to project their shit on you. It happens. But it makes us lose focus when we get caught up in the drama. And once you're aligned with your values of how you want to spend your time and your energy, even in a small space, when you wake up every day with that focus in mind, whether it's, I'm going to draw a picture, I'm going to dance one dance, I'm going to stretch, I am going to work on an organization project, whatever that is for you, when you have that clear in your head, and you know what the outcome is, you've already visualized the outcome, you know you're actively in alignment with what it is that you're manifesting, you just stop giving a fuck about all that other shit. All right, one more sip of coffee. Now, I do have hopes of coloring. So, once again, because I've said, like, I've been brain tired, and we'll see how I do after this video, but sometimes I just like to start with a little small focus. Like, this is the page, the full month in view page. So I like to practice shading on that page, and just, she has all these little small details that are just so wonderful in her drawings for us to color, and that's a lot of fun. All right, that's it for today. Stay safe, stay frosty, lighten your load wherever you can. Peace out.